What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ron Line Report. Today's guest, you know him as the Boogeyman. He is the one, the only, Blessing Awodibu. How are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Every time you say my second name, I always get so impressed.
Did I do it right? Did I get it right?
You almost sound like you from Nigeria.
Awodibu. Hey,
I think you've said so many Nigerians' name now. You're so used to the accent. Andrew, that we got a few Nigerians coming up on the scene. So you got so many Nigerian names on the scene now that you're so used to the African accent.
Are you aware of the Kennedy, Colossus
Yes,
Kennedy?
I did. I saw him this past weekend.
Yeah, Anyanwu, another Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
So the trick is be from Nigeria. Don't be from Somalia or Ethiopia. Yeah, you'd be too skinny. All right, so,
Exactly.
I'm going to get right down to the question everyone's been wanting to know, and I know you did put a video out there a little bit explaining, but what happened at Legion? Why were you not the Boogeyman, the Blessing that we saw 3 years ago, winning the New York Pro, winning the Indy Pro, smashing those shows and making a big statement? So what was the deal? Just break it down for me.
Hey, Ron, it's a journey, man, and it's a process. You know what I mean? It was another missed peak. I feel like, this physique that I have, like I'm like almost there, but I'm not quite there yet, but I'm almost there, and it was a missed peak, and I actually had a really good offseason with Boss. We are almost a year together working together. We put on tons of mass, tons of mass. I was heaviest I ever been, but in terms of hardness and quality, wasn't the hardness that I've ever been. And as we diet down, I wasn't seeing the hardness that hardness and that density coming through. At like 280, 275, I should be diced. So at 270, we weren't seeing the condition that we wanted to see, so we had to dig down, which was it was not the move for this frame, for the size that I was carrying. So we had to dig down to chase that condition, but it wasn't there. I just wasn't ready. I didn't think it was a good time to step on stage. Because the work we were doing in the gym was absolutely fantastic. It's like the gains haven't fully marinated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, settled.
But I really feel like I'm like so close. Even though stepping on stage, you might see my physique and like, damn, it looks so far away. But like when you are this wide and you with this frame, you just need so much mass and density and fullness to really showcase that shape, which I wasn't able to do this past weekend. And yeah, that's what's up. Again, you learn and you take something away from me and you move on. We keep digging, keep working.
Everyone had a theory, what went wrong. We're all trying to figure it out before you even said anything on social media. My theory is, and you tell me if I'm right on or I'm dead wrong, I think maybe you got too heavy because you had a very, very long off season and didn't give yourself enough time to diet down into shape. Am I right or am I wrong?
It was actually the longest prep ever. We had I think it was almost close to 20 weeks of dieting, and I just, for some reason, I just want to see the hardness. The hardness just wasn't coming through. The shit was absolutely beautiful. Best shape I've ever been in when it comes to balance, symmetry from the top to bottom. And then again, when I show up on stage, it looks like you can see like my legs really flying out because again, we have to dig really deep to try and chase that condition, which wasn't there. You know what I mean? But the only thing I was missing was just the hardness, the hard, dense muscle, with this option that I had. And I just feel like, I'm like, I'm almost there, but I'm not quite there yet, but I'm really, really close.
Okay. When you say dig deep, were you on like no carbs? Were you doing 2-3 hours of cardio a day?
I was doing two cardios a day. I'll do like about 50 minutes in the morning and 40 minutes after training. That's after we hit 270. And from there my legs kind of flatten out a little bit, and we're working like, okay, once we start to carb up, everything's gonna come back to life. So we have to eat so much food from Wednesday till pretty much Saturday morning, the show day. we were eating a lot. We were eating over around 1,500 to 1,800 grams of carbs.
Wow.
And for some reason, yes, it was a lot of food. And for some reason, I don't think I was able to absorb all that carbs in quite well. And then you can see my waist actually got bad while my legs got flatter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was on stage, it was very hard for me to control my waist, which is, I'm known for like, having that really small, tight waist. And once I lose my waist, and my legs looking a little flat, that's it for me. It's like, it's not even. It's just a bad. When I miss really bad.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
this is when you won Indy 2022. We're looking at that, and your waist was tiny.
yeah, it was to the best today. Best. It was the best conditions I've ever been in. I'm a lot bigger now. I have so much more muscle now. But it's not the same. Even we went back and we look at my off season and how my off season was trending down when I started prep in for that show in 2022. I just had this hardness and density to my physique that I couldn't see during this prep. It was different.
Yeah. Do you think it's because you went so long without competing? Because you hadn't been on stage since when was the Flex Pro Italy? Was that August of 23?
Yeah, I was 23. I didn't compete 2024. 2024, man. I went through this. I went through some period where I was like, I was suffering with insomnia so bad, almost a whole year. With really, really, I'm talking about really bad sleep. Sleep issue, like really, really bad. And things start to get better for me. Like I think maybe around about 10 weeks, about 10 weeks out, things start to get good for me. It took me a while to get in shape. When we started prep, like I was like, what's going on with my body? My body was just not moving.
Wow.
Which for me is a little weird because I get in shape real fast. I remember that prep for Indy and New York, dude. I was in shape 6 weeks out. We actually had to stop cardio 6 weeks out. But this time it was just different. It was a little difficult. And I think we know the reason why. We're gonna get my blood work done on Monday. We're gonna see some things, and then we're gonna take it from there.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the insomnia, and that's obviously when you're not sleeping, your body gets flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone. Makes it very hard to lose body fat. So now that you say that, did you ever figure it out? Did you get on like Ambien or Lunesta? Or
2024 for was a really tough year, man. I tried every medication possible, even a lot of the stuff, and I think that definitely got to play in it and what happened with my physique. A lot of things that I was able to use in the past, I wasn't able to use it because they triggering the insomnia. They're making my sleep worse. I couldn't, a lot of the fire burn that I was able to use in the past, I wasn't able to use no fire burner here during this prep.
There's even some anabolics that are standard in contest prep, like Tren, that are horrible for your sleep.
Yes. So a lot of things that I was able to get away with in the past, I had to stay away from a lot of stuff because the trigger, the sleep issue. When you can't sleep, you can't perform, and the body wouldn't look right. So definitely that's got to do with it a little bit. Like I said, I didn't start getting better till about 10 weeks out. That my sleep starts to get better. Things start to look better for me, and my body starts to move. Yeah.
So another thing people were talking about, people were saying that you have a knee injury and that prevents you from training legs correctly. But is there any truth to that? I remember your knee went like backwards one time during a hack squat video. But here you are.
You know what? Actually, I have a trainer now. This is the best my training's ever been, man. This is my leg training, absolutely amazing right now. I have a trainer. I'm training with a guy called Eddie, but it goes by Quality Muscle on Instagram. He is very, very good, and we actually, he actually fixed my knee issue. There was a point at some point I was actually draining my knee like almost every second week. Every time I do a really tough leg workout, my knees fills with fluids, like so swollen that I had to go get it drained. Like I was doing that like every second week, And I got to a point where I link up with Eddie. We fix few things. We work on my range of motion. We work on my ankle and knee flexion. Just slowly build up some strength on
Yeah.
my left knee. And then actually my knee. This is actually the best my knee's ever been right now. So when it comes to my training, leg training, everything has gone a lot better. Honestly, actually, my legs progress. We weren't able to showcase on stage. But yo, my legs went up big time. We brought my legs up big time. But of
Did
course,
you?
when I go through a bad peak like that, one of my worst body part that you're gonna notice downfall is my legs. Legs normally just flatten out, which what happened at a Legion Sport Festival. But when it comes to the knee issue,
Yeah.
we definitely worked on that, and this is the healthiest my knee's ever been. With the work I've been doing with Eddie.
What was wrong with the knee, or what's the issue with the knee? Do you know exactly what the diagnosis is?
It's a lot of pain on my left knee, and it naturally it's like hyperextend a little bit, and I get clicks on it. It kind of prevent me from eating a low range of motion. When it comes to I have a really bad knee flexion, ankle flexion. Because of that, I can't really squat really deep. I can't press anything really deep. But we fixed that. We got over it, and I'm in a lot better place now with my knee than I've ever been.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I think it's been very common with bodybuilders over the years. If you bring up a body part, it's the first thing that kind of goes when you over diet or diet too much, and so you experience
like at 270. I think I posted a picture there. 270. I absolutely love that look. It was the most balanced I've ever looked. And but the only thing I was missing was the hardness and that dense look, which we talked about. The issue that I had with insomnia and sleeping, and that could have a lot to do with it. But right now, we're gonna get my blood work. I'm getting my blood work done, seeing what we can see on the blood work, and then we take it from there.
So moving forward, will you stay leaner in the off season?
Oh yeah, 100%. We're gonna stay within 8 to 6 weeks out from any show, a show. So we're gonna try and stay as lean as we can here, and then just work on that density and that quality muscle. The size is there, everything is there. I'm kind of huge frame. I just need to improve that, conditioning. If I can bring that fullness, the hardness to stay with the shape and the size I'm carrying right now, that's a physique you want to be seen on stage.
You haven't dumped Boss of Outlaw, right? He's still your coach.
Oh yeah, he's still my coach. He's awesome, man. He's really good. I got on the phone with him, like we literally talked for like an hour, and we went back. We look over a lot of the daters, and we went back to what I was doing in the past, what I looked like in the past, and then you can actually see the difference, on that with that body and this body today. Here today, huge amount of size, but it's just not as fresh and hard as it was in the past. And right now we know. I think we know where to go with that.
So give me an idea, body weight. We're looking at your New York Pro win here from 2022. This footage is even better. 2022 Indy. What were you weighing in that spring of 2022 on stage?
Indy, I would probably win maybe 256 in Indy. About 256, 260. Yeah. And then in New York, a lot lighter, maybe 252. Okay. Because I was a lot tighter, more conditioned in New York, but definitely my best look was Indy for sure.
Yeah, you were fuller here for sure. So what'd you weigh at Legion? Do you know?
Legion, I think I must weigh, maybe 263 or something like that.
Okay.
Pretty soft.
Yeah. I mean,
right now I need to be 270 plus, hard, shredded, full as fuck, But we knew someone right, of course we have to go out, we have to go ahead with the show and step on stage and compete and try the best we could with the peak, The peak didn't go right, because from the get-go there's just something went right, And honestly, I feel like I'm actually really close, because I know the shape that I have, the physique that I have. When I'm able to pull all that puzzle together, it can be really dangerous.
I mean, we're looking at it right here. You were beating a lot of people a couple of years ago. In retrospect, you carved up. I think I heard 8,000 calorie breakfast.
Yeah, pretty close to that. I was eating a lot of food, and that's why you can see I was having problem with my waist on stage, and I was sweating a lot. My body I don't know, my body wasn't able to handle all that food or push all that nutrient into where they're supposed to go, and I still look flat on stage.
Well, it looked like you tried to. I hate the term crash diet, but I was looking at your progress pictures, your updates for the last, say, 8 weeks, and I was like, oh boy, he looks behind. He looks really behind. Because I've seen people prep. I've seen thousands of guys prep for shows. I know where you should have been, and I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to get in shape. And it looked to me like you guys really dropped the hammer and went very low calories, super high cardio toward the very end.
Towards the end, we have to, because we just want to see what we're supposed to see. We just want to see the condition coming through. We want to see the hardness come through. And towards the end, we're like, all right, for like 7 days straight, we went really hard at it. We went from 270 to like 262. And I got a little tighter, but still, it's not the look that you want, and then we have to see, okay, let's put some carbs into it. Maybe you're gonna go harder, drier, but everything just backfires.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's your first prep with Boss, and every coach still needs to learn the client's body. And this was your first prep. You've been with him a year, but that was mostly off season, correct?
Yes. This is the first prep, and the one thing I liked about him, he pay attention to the details, and after my blood work, I think we know exactly where to take this, So I'm pretty pumped for the next move. I know I'm gonna get it together, and I really do. I will get it together. I'm pretty close, and when I do, I think it's gonna be pretty awesome, man. It's gonna be awesome to see, especially people who see my story, going from show to show, not get what I wanted, and then finally nailing it. I think it would be something to really celebrate. So I'm not stopping, I'm not slowing down. I know exactly what I got to do. I got to keep putting in that work and just trying my best to improve and keep doing what I do, and just keep chasing, trying to be better every day.
So, I mean, that leads me to the next big question. You dieted, you weren't where you wanted to be, but it's your career. You and Boss are the ones figuring this out, but I hope you're going to hit another show soon or another couple shows, because you'll get better and better instead of just going back into an off season or something. You know what I mean? Because all it's going to take is for you to come back looking great one more time.
Yeah.
In a few weeks, and everybody forgets whatever the past was. Look at Patrick Moore.
Exactly.
3 days before that show, people were still saying he sucks. He should retire. He's the worst. Then he shows up looking great at Legion. Everybody loves him again. Nick Walker. God, how much hate did he get after that last Olympia? Then right after he comes back in Pittsburgh, everybody loves him again. Derek Lunsford, right after last Olympia where he was flat. Derek sucks. He should retire, blah, blah, blah.
That's what the fans do.
Fans will turn on you, but they'll jump right back on you.
That's their job. That's their job.
So what's going on? What's your next show? Do you know?
Honestly, I can't say what's my next show. We're just gonna get my blood work, see what's going on with my blood work, and then we're back at it. We're back to working. And we see what's next for me. Yeah, but I'm not gonna wait. It's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna wear another. No, we're working, and we're gonna see, how much better, how much improvement we can make from here, for the next couple of maybe a month or two or whatever, and then we shoot again,
Yeah. So Dubai is out, because that would have been 3 weeks from Legion.
Oh yeah, no. I honestly, I have to be realistic with myself, man. Like I said, like all that stuff that I went through last year, everything was there, size, everything was there. I was just missing that Dane's hard look, and we see how fast we can improve on my conditioning, while still maintain a really good size, and then we're gonna take it from there.
Okay. All right. Well, let's share some good news. You already have one child. Your daughter is what? How old is she now? 3, 4?
She's about 20 months now.
20 months?
Yeah,
That's months.
yeah, she's almost 2.
Oh, it's okay. She's not that old. But you have another baby on the way, right?
Another baby on the way. You know, family's
Congratulations.
everything, man.
Yeah, I'm looking for family pictures on your Instagram. I can't find one. That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, you'll have to dig deep.
That's okay. It's keep your private life private, I always say, if you can. But yeah, I mean, that shouldn't play a factor. People saying, "Oh no, he's got a baby." You know, you're not. I hope you're not waking up like 5 times a night feeding babies and
Oh,
changing.
no. My wife she does a great job of that. You know, she's very good.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
that doesn't stop my sleep. That doesn't affect anything other than the issue that I went through, which that was just on myself.
all right. So sounds like the insomnia was an issue, but that's all. That's fixed for now.
That's fixed. Again, like I said, I'm honestly I'm looking forward to the next couple of months of training, and pulling a few things together. All the things I wasn't able to use during that prep, all the stuff that was triggering making my sleep worse. I think I'm all over that now.
Okay.
So I can get back to a full steam, and actually bring the physique that people want to see. I know once I just got to put it together. I know when I put it together, I know how the fans appreciate every time whenever I show up real good. I know how much love I get, and I also know how much hate and disrespect that I get when I meet, because I think they expect so much from me. They expect so much, and I expect so much for myself. I was so disappointed, so is everybody else. So it's all God. I don't, it's all right. They want to force their frustration out. They want to call me these, say that. It's all right. That's part of the game. That's being a fan. That's what sport is. You get some people who will support you, and then you get some people who are just pissed off and just want to call you all kinds of names. So I'm prepared for that. I'm ready for that. That's what we do. That's the name of the game. You just have to be mentally strong to be able to handle all that. And I'm pretty good at before in the past. I would have let stuff like that affect me, but right now, I know how to switch that off. I don't got to read no comments. I post something, I let it go. People can say whatever they want as long as I don't see it. I don't go there reading stuff. I post whatever I want. Let people know what's going on with me. Let people know what's going on, what went down with the show. Let people know how I'm feeling. How they want to react to it, it's up to them. Yeah. And how I react to them reacting to me, it's up to me.
True. I mean, the social media thing, because you were big on social media before you even stepped on a pro stage, and now
that's where the pressure comes from, Yeah.
Well, I mean, people expect more from you because you have millions of followers on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You're famous around the world. I've seen you on like Tosh.0. I've seen you on like TV, regular TV, not just bodybuilding stuff on YouTube or whatever. So when somebody's got that level of success, aside from the competitive sport, it creates some jealousy because everybody wants that. You've been a contracted athlete for a while. People are kind of jealous of that. So yeah, they're looking for any chance they can to pick on you. But like I said, this. As soon as you come back looking like the Boogeyman,
exactly. Everyone's switched up.
Everybody's going to be a Blessing fan all over again. Watch.
And I know it's coming, even the greatest, they go through a time like this. Ronnie Coleman, I'm not saying I'm Ronnie Coleman. Everyone have different journeys. Like Ronnie Coleman, even as great as Ronnie was, he had this moment where it was like show to show, and things not happening. Then he finally figured it out. Just pulled the puzzles together, and then everyone was, and that was it. Even Samson's way to the top. People just see Samson. People only see the winnings now. Samson had his, he had his time as well where he was traveling here and there, just trying to make it to the Olympia, show to shows, But now look at him, he's killing it, So everybody have their own different journey, their own ways of figuring things out. I just believe this is just my way of, putting things together, And I feel like I am so close. I am really, really close. The size is there. I just need to improve that quality, that density, and that's why, I'm a patient guy, man. I'm extremely patient. When I put it all together, everyone's gonna think this is an overnight success,
So we're probably looking at something later in the season.
For sure. Later in the season, we'll see how things goes with my progress.
Yeah, because I mean, you want to make it to Olympia this year? I'm assuming.
I mean, I would love to, and if it's not, it's all good. There's always an Olympiad. There's always the next year.
Yeah, I mean, you're still, what are you, 33?
Yeah, I'm 33. I'll be 34 this year.
You're a young guy. You're still a very young guy.
I
Compared
still
to
got a little bit of time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're doing well. So congratulations on the new baby on the way. Glad you got the leg training figured out. Boss of Outlaw does a fantastic job. So looking forward to bigger and better things from Blessing. That's
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Blessing. Thanks, everybody, for watching Ron Line Report with this man, the Boogeyman, Blessing, Awodibu. See you next time.